Okay, now that we've taken care of the left side of the corridor by adding the right turn lane and the taper, let's go and address the right side of the road where we have the turn lane. So if we go up here to the northern section of the project, we're going to widen out our corridor to add this turn lane. And this time we're going to use a little bit different approach. This time we're going to use a point control to widen out the corridor. And if you recall, the point controls can be assigned to corridors to force template points to follow other information than what is set in the template. So point controls override the default location of template points. So in our case, we're going to make the template follow this edge of pavement geometry that I have drawn in my geometry control file. And that's going to force the corridor to widen out here and add this right turn lane. Let's zoom out and 3D model here so we can get up into the area that we're looking at in 3D. So you can see right now the pavement is not widened over here. We don't have our grading. That's because the template that I used to drop in this area doesn't have any grading. It's turned off right now. Once we assign the point control, our pavement will be widened and our grading will turn on. That's because I have some display rules set up in a template to make that happen. So let's go ahead and create the point control. So we'll go up to corridors, create point control, and we want to locate our corridor. So we'll first locate our corridor. And then the starting station for our point control is going to be down here. You can see I have the start template drop. I'm going to select this graphic line that I have drawn in here as my starting point because that's where the taper begins for the right turn lane. And we'll left click to accept that. And our ending point is going to be 91 plus 00, so we'll key that in and press enter to lock that value down. And then our description is going to be EOP underbar R for edge of pavement right. And we'll left click to accept that. And the point we want to control is going to be the EOP underbar R point that's on our template. So if we go on our list here of template points, we can pick the EOP R point. That's the one that we want to control and follow this edge of pavement geometry that I have in here. And the mode we want to use is horizontal. We just want it to move horizontally. And then it's going to be linear geometry because we want it to follow this linear geometry of this geometric element that I've drawn in here that represents my edge of pavement. And I'm going to left click to accept that. And we want to go in there and select that edge of pavement geometry. So I'm going to select it. And we want to define it as a secondary alignment because we want it to change the direction of processing when it gets in this area here, just like we did with the corridor reference earlier. And we'll left click to accept that. Priority we'll leave set for 1. Start offset we'll leave set for 0. Stop offset we'll leave set for 0. We'll left click to accept. And then when we get done with that, you should see the model update now. And if we flip this around in 3D and take a closer look, you can see that the pavement gets widened out, creates our right turn lane for us, and also in this area here we have the taper. It's also creating the secondary alignment, so the direction of template processing is actually changing direction there. So looks like everything's working like we'd like it to, so that's how we can create a point control to follow edge of pavement geometry.